Welcome to Trading Lounge. We'll take a look at the SP500 and the NASDAQ and then the half a dozen tech stocks. The weekly chart here, I'd like to have a look at that, start first up on the Mondays. And we are moving up from this current low here quite nicely. We're looking for 5 waves between wave 4 and wave 5 up here. This will give us wave 1 up here, and then a pullback for wave 2. How far this pulls back, I have no idea. It's just something that we'll need to work through. I know a lot of people are upset when they see this wave 1 and 2 here and 1 and 2 here, but I find generally the markets tend to, follow the population growth, and according to the United Nations, that should peak around the 2080 point, around 10.4 billion. So we're still breeding, so that's good. So if that's the case, the markets will continue to move up based on simple supply and demand. Now, from wave 4 to wave 5 here, if we just break this down into daily, we've got wave 4 here. And as you know, we've been counting up here. We're looking for wave 1 top here, and we're looking for 5 waves within this particular structure. When that's completed, we'll be at wave 2, and wave 2 is our next sort of trade. We traded indices and stocks in this move here, and then we started to unwind everything in here, and wasn't really going to get involved in this last little section here, or the correction here. Now that said, I will point things out for intraday traders, but for swing traders and trend traders, we're really looking for wave 2 here to wave 3 here. Also too, as we moved into this little area through here, as 1 and 2 and going up into the third wave here, I mentioned that this is going to get, if I'm going to make any mistakes, and I probably will, I'll be making them in here. And that has been the case because that is basically wave 4s, and they can get a bit sideways and complicated. And we also had the top here as well. Now, how far this moves up here, this is another question. I'll just count 5 waves there, and then we should get our turn at that point. So if we take that into the intraday section here, it will look a little bit like this here. Let me just frame this. So from this wave 4 here going up to this wave 1 here, we're looking for 5 waves of minor degree 1 and 2 and 3, and then we've come across here for wave 4 here, and then we're going up for wave 5 here. It does appear at this point that if we take this here as wave 4, we've got wave 1 here and an ABC for wave 2, so going up for wave 3. Normally wave 3 is the strongest, but we have to remember that we are at old highs as well, so we may not sort of see that. Normally what I find is that, take this with a pinch of salt, is if the extension is in wave 3, which it is, then wave 1 and wave 5 here can be roughly the same. But you only sort of do that to sort of eyeball things up to get sort of a bit of an understanding of it. And tops never really complete the way that you would like them to. They can get, they can complete just fine, but a lot of the time that they don't meet your expectations of getting to certain points. And also too, there are stocks like Google, Microsoft, Tesla, that that in this move from the 5th of August down here, some of them are still down here. Now I can work them into a 5-wave move, which I like to do, but yeah, it's just they're not all the same. And then there's other stocks too that we could also put wave 1 in here as well, already in place. So this move up here, it'll be interesting to see how long it takes. Now, yeah, some stocks can make new highs and some might not. So we'll either have wave 1 for stocks here in some cases, and we'll have it here, just depending if those stocks don't make new highs there. Just to have a look at this on a little bit more detail, I'll just go to this point. I won't go any further than this though, but This is the wave 4 here, and we've got wave 1 and ABC for wave 2, and we're going up for wave 3. And normally one would say that this wave 3 here would be longer than wave 1 here, but it can be shorter. And if it is shorter, if this wave 3 is shorter than this one, well then this wave 5 here is going to be shorter than wave 3. So let's just assume for a moment and have a look at a couple of things, because I just want to include a little bit of weirdness. So if this is 1 and 2 here, and we're coming up for 3 here and 4 here and 5 here, and then we get this correction here, and this one here is shorter than this one, this wave 1 here, well then this wave 5 here is going to be shorter than this one here. So that's just one thing that we need to look for on the very conservative side with all of that. Otherwise, it can sort of extend higher up here, and this is what we need to work out with stock as well, how far they will move up, and obviously stock will be creating this move here. Now the NASDAQ is the same as well. So from the 5th of August low here, the wave 4 here, we've got wave 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and then going up for wave 5. We'll talk about this more in the indices video, which I do next, and we'll have a look at that. But yeah, I mean, all in all, a bit of a classic trading levels pattern at this particular move here. So we could just say that we get a move up here, and then we'll get an ABC pattern here, and then we'll move up again. Now how far this pulls back, it pulled back to the 50-60%, so we could probably just bring that up a little bit. But this should be a simple 5-3-5 zigzag structure. And yeah, so this is the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, the ABC correction. So that is the most common pattern that we'll see at a level. So the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, the ABC pattern will come down further in this case. And so this is where we need to be over here and building in through this next leg over here. This is our next trade here. We need to prepare for this, and that's why I didn't want to short in this leg here, because I don't want folks losing money, ducking and diving and weaving and getting strung out and stressed out, and then they're not ready for this move over here. They lost capital, they're not mentally stable, and all the rest of it. So anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so over to stocks. And we've got Apple here. So with Apple, we're looking at wave 1 to the upside here. So the 5th of August low here, and counting up as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. How far this goes up here, I don't know. I mean, I can do extensions and things until the cows come home, but basically we just have to count our way through everything. But the main point is this wave 2 here. So that's what we're waiting for, really, to do the next trade at this point. I'm just going to cut straight through from 1 day into deep into the intraday, and this 5th of August low here, we've gone 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here. This is a little bit messy up here. Now I've got wave 4 overlapping wave 1 here, so this is not going to end well. I know that it should be pushing up higher based on what we can see with the S&P and the NASDAQ, and the indicator here is just it's kind of down at that end of town. And yeah, so look, I could probably put that's minor group 1, so that's important. I could probably put wave 1 over here. I would have always liked to include this one here as 1 and 2 here, but it's just not going to work. Anyway, we've taken profit here. We're out of this here, so we can move these. Don't need this mess here now, so we can take those out. But like I said, I'm more interested in this wave 2 over here. That's where I'm at. So this could finish in a couple of different ways, and you can see the wave 4 is overlapping wave 1 here, and this wave 4 here is lower than this one, so I can't use this as wave 1 here, even though I would like to, and I could even put a top in there if I wanted to, but that's not going to sort of work. I have to go with what the general markets are going to be doing, and that would be that this will probably want to push up in some way. But once again, I'm not interested in trading this because it's just arrived at this level, the 230, the number 3 here, so the group 1. So a classic trading levels pattern would be, you know, waiting for the first high here and ABC. So anyway, nothing to see here, folks. So we'll move on. Amazon here. Amazon was one of them that we could have wave 1 over here, but I think it's got a little bit of zing in it, so we could come back and bring it in line with the NASDAQ. So basically up for wave 1 at this point and back for wave 2. We'll see if it makes a new high. That's the trick. I don't care if it does or doesn't, by the way. Do you know what I mean? It's just I will be looking for this wave 2. This is where our trades are going to come from. So it doesn't matter how these markets top. We're not trading them. We're just going to allow them to top and turn. And it would look like this here with wave 1 and 2 here. I look at this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. It could be counted differently. I get it. Will this make a new top here? Has it got enough strength to get up there? Or do we have to bring this in here as an A wave here and some sort of B wave here and then the C wave over here and put wave 1 over here? I know that's a bit complicated, but I'm just sort of shooting the breeze a little bit. Like I said, it doesn't matter how this tops. It will be this one over here that we're looking for in due course. Okay, so we'll just move along. And NVIDIA. Now, NVIDIA, we've got wave 1 here, and that's workable. If this pushes up here really strong, then we could put wave 1 over here. Will it do that? I'm not quite sure. It's got a long way to go from this low here, so it doesn't look that good. So it's been knocked around a bit. So let's just cut through to 1000 area here and have a look at this. We've had wave 1 up here. So we know the other markets are going to push up, you know. So with the NASDAQ here, we know it's got 1 and 2 here and probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's probably got, you know, 3 or 4 days up there. Will this be able to make a new top in 3 or 4 days? Can it do that? If it does that, that's fine. We can put wave 1 over here and then we can look for our ABC pattern over here with wave 2 with the rest of the market. But if it cannot get up there, you know, this is not looking that good on an impulse structure here anyway. If it can only get up here somewhere, well then it's going to be part of this B wave here, and then we'll be coming down here again. So it's either going to go some way up here or it's going to make a new high here. I don't like the way that I finished this off here by the by, and it looks like I I like it as a 1, 2, 3, 4 here, because really, you know, it's just pulled back to the 38 point, you know, the 40% basically, close enough anyway, you know, just into here. So it's doing all the right things for a wave 4. Doesn't have enough time to get up there. That's what we'll see. Can you trade long? Day traders can be long. You know, there's momentum, a bullish weekly cycle, seeing, you know, Thursday a bit soft and Friday shoring up into, you know, a positive move, generally speaking. And yeah, that momentum will follow through in most markets for Monday, and you'll start to see profit taking on Tuesday and so on. I don't think there's many announcements this week for the US later in the week. They come. We've got the non-farm payrolls and a few things. Okay, so we come over to Meta platforms, and it's another one that we can put wave 1 in here. And yeah, so we can look at this as wave 1 being in place with an A and a B and a C. If for some reason it moves up really quite quickly, then we'll put wave 1 over here and bring wave 2 over here. It doesn't sort of matter. I'm not, like, I'm just not, I know where we are, and I don't particularly want to get caught in a situation where we've not got no trend or not much of one anyway. So just looking at that here, we can look at this as wave 1 with an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave down here. We could view it as wave 4 here. It's not a big deal. I can sort of work that and put wave 1 over here. So we'll just see how it plays out. It doesn't really matter, but we need to bring them in line with the rest of the markets. As simple as that. So we should be pushing up. we'll just see. So you can, day traders can go along. Netflix here, we're still in this trade here, so we can bring this stop from this low to this low here now. You've taken part profit here. You can take the rest of it anywhere above that wave 3 high here. So, around the 720 would be nice. 719 is good enough, that sort of thing. So I'll just keep working that. We'll just do the robo style to the upside. And we will be doing, I don't know, for old members at Trading Lounge, we used to do a lot of daily robo trades for the US markets and for the Australian markets. I will be heading in that direction again because we always got really good results from that type of trading. And once I'm just working on the website, just doing a few things. I got to put in some help menus, and I'm just putting in some AI help and things. Once I've done that, then I will start to create a bit more time for myself and focus on robo trades for the US and Australia. That means that we could end up having 3 or 4 trades a day for those markets, and they're just end of day trades as well, so they're quite good. So you just set and forget. You don't have to watch them intraday. Rightio, so we're on 1000 ticks, so we'll go to 100 ticks here, and we're just looking at this the same as well as wave 3 and 4 here now, and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5. So we'll be looking for a top here, a classic trading levels pattern at 700, and this is the one that we want over here for the next trade. Okay, so over to Google. Now, Google's quite low, I mean, the S&P 500 from this August 5th low here, the S&P, driven partly by the banks, is leading to the upside. The NASDAQ is stuck at 20,000. So, the S&P's at old highs over here, and this market is, still on its lows down here. Now, I can certainly put this wave 1 top in over here and work it like that. I understand that. And we've got that going. We looked at that last week. If I was putting this in line with the other markets, I would put this over here and look for this move up here. That's what I would look. This is the way that I would like to do it. And I could put this over here. That's the way I'd like to look at this trade. And this here, oddly enough, is in the same pattern as the rest of the market. So I'll just see how it moves up here, but I can't really give a nice solid, thought about it in terms of, I just don't think it's going to get up there, enough, so it just brings in a lot of other corrective patterns. And, we looked at some, I think on the daily chart here, we looked at these sorts of things. And this particular pattern here will be just in line with the S&P and the NASDAQ, but in a different way, but they'll be the same sort of moves. So I'll just see. I don't know. I don't have anything here, so don't really pay any attention to me on any of this at the moment. I can't give you a solid pathway for anything. This is Microsoft here, obviously, and it's also quite low from the tops here, right? So these stocks are either lagging in the world, or they're in front. They're like I said, they can be they can be leading the world. But I won't go there just yet. So this trade's finished, isn't it? So we took part profit up here on these two, and then we got caught in this thing here. So we figured there would be a bounce back, so we'll take the money off the table at that point. So all of that's out. We've gone from there. That's good. And just put this back in. This is a medium level, and then group 1, 10, 20, and 30. So, once again, I would really like it if, I mean, obviously it's not up to me. And if I was going to do that, I'd put this here and look at this as 1 with an A and a B and a C wave here for 2. That would give me clearance on a wave 4 here. And then I could view this here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 to here, and then up for 5 here, and then an ABC pattern. So pretty much the same that I was just talking about with Alphabet and Google and all the other markets around the world as well. Is got this pattern, but I don't know if it's going to make a new high here. If it makes a new high here, then I'll be very happy. I can just drag it into the rest of the world. But if it's a question of like, does it give me 5 waves up here? It doesn't even have to make a new high here. As long as it gives me 5 waves, I can use it as wave 1. If it only gives me 3 waves up here and doesn't make a new high here, then I need to look at it in a different way. I'll need to look at this as wave 1 already being in place, which I kind of don't want to do because of where the indices are and so on. And this is certainly not, it doesn't look like, because it's on the 5th of August low, because it's low compared to the high here, it's like it's sort of lagging the other markets. It's not a leading stock. So to put wave 1 here is not really the right thing to do, I don't think, because it's just not leading. If it was leading, I could do that. It's pulling the market with it, but it's just a follower at the moment. So having this wave 1 here is a bit more a bit more practical, and having this here. So anyway, we'll just see if it makes a new high or not. And like I said, it doesn't matter. I don't want to get involved in it. This is the number that I want to be engaged in at this point. Okay, so Tesla. Look, this is the same as what I just went through with Google and Microsoft. I would like to have it as 1 and 2 here, and 3 here, and 4 here, and make it to wave 5 up here. Will I get there? Will it make a new top here? Will it get close and all the rest of it? I don't know. And if it doesn't, if it just lands up here somewhere and then comes down from this point and doesn't give me this top here, then I'll need to rearrange things, and this is where we are at the moment, to move into a more corrective pattern here. So instead of having this as wave 1 here, we're looking for wave 1 up here, small blue wave 1 and 2, like like the NASDAQ here. See how we've got this blue wave 1 and 2 here? So I've got this as an A and a B, but I would like to have it as a wave 1, but I just don't know if it's going to get me higher enough up here. So it's just a bit of a wait and see. Let's just don't need to do anything. I mean, if you're a day trader, you can go long, There's a setup was on the 210. But yeah, let's just wait and see how those play out. And then we come over to Bitcoin, and it's also got the 5th of August low here. So it's in line with the general, tech stock market. Can I would like to put this as wave 1 over here. That would be nice and tidy as well. And maybe we need to do that at a later stage, and look at this as 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So we can put a wave 4 over here and then a wave 5 over here. So I don't know if that's the right way to go at this point. Having wave 1 over here was quite nice, because it actually sort of suited, this is Solana here, also the 5th of August low here, going up for wave 1 here with an A and a B and a C wave here that we were looking for. Now, I knew that we're going to be making another low here. I could count that down, but I haven't fully counted it down, and I can't say that's the low because I haven't spent the time on it, but would be very close here now. But once we get a decent impulse wave and a pullback, then we can sort of move into it. So as a expanded flat ABC correction here for wave 1 and 2 here, then that looks quite good. So we could do that particular pattern here as well, with wave 1 here with an A and a B and a C wave in over here as well. So we'll see. I can see there's different ways to count this. It doesn't really sort of matter, but it will move in line with the NASDAQ, and that's why we've got this particular wave 4 here, so wave 3 here and wave 4 over here, and then pushing up into wave 5 up here of wave 1. So this somewhere here, this will be somewhere here we'll have a 1 and 2, okay, and then we'll have a 3, 4, 5 here, the same as the NASDAQ, and then this will be a big wave 1 up here, and then we'll have a wave 2 here, and then we'll go up again. Will this top it, will this get to 100,000? Probably, but that's basically the same pattern as, as the NASDAQ. Alrighty, I'm going to leave it all at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.